Coming up on CinemaKC, we take you behind the scenes interviewing the hottest filmmakers in town. I'm Michelle Davidson.
And I'm Erin McGrane. Today we're going to showcase the sounds of film and get a chance to see what happens in a real sound booth.
And you'll meet composers, sound designers, and audio artists.
So get your candy and your popcorn.
And turn up the volume. CinemaKC starts now.
Welcome to CinemaKC, your own personal film festival.
Now, they say film is a visual medium, but actually when you add the sound and the score, that's when film really comes to life. So we're so excited to profile composers on the show, and one of the best in town is Noel Selders. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you just recently moved to the Crossroads Art District. How's that been?
It's really awesome. It's a super hot spot of creativity, and just everybody being right in the middle of that, it's great.
Well, we're glad to have you here today. Now, Noel actually composed the music for the opening of our show, so you've heard some of his work already. But let's take a look at some more. We're going to watch Fly 53.
fly stuff, Noel. I love it.
Thank you.
Now, this was really interesting film because there was no dialogue at all. So how do you tell the story with music when there's no dialogue?
Generally, you got to get with the director and kind of map out the film, make sure you get all the hit points, discuss it with the director. In this case, it was Lindsay and Lyndon Wade of the Wade brothers. And so I worked real closely with them to kind of make sure that each point that they wanted to actually make sure was expressed, got expressed. So.
Now, you have musical talent oozing out of every pore. Did you grow up in a musical family?
Yeah, actually, I've got musicians on both sides of my parents' family, so it's very genetic, I guess.
In your blood.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for being here. We
Thank
sure
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
After the break, we're going to take you to a real sound studio. Jim, thank you so much for being on the show.
Well, thanks for coming over.
Now, I think everyone's aware that sound is a big part of every film, but not just the sound as it's being laid down as the picture's recorded, but actually a lot of sound editing happens after the film has already been made, right?
That's true. It's called post-production, and a lot more time is spent in post-production typically than shooting out on location. So.
A term people talk a lot about is ADR. Can you tell us what ADR is, and then what's your role in that?
It's called automatic dialogue replacement. It's where an actor comes in and looks at his performance, her performance on screen, and then reads along with and replaces their dialogue. It's automatic dialogue replacement. But I have to say that there's nothing automatic about it. It's very hard work. It's very difficult getting all the little pieces to line up so that it does work. Now, if you're an actor or an actress and you walk in and reread your lines, well, you've already got them memorized, so it may seem automatic to you, but from where I sit, it's pretty manual.
It's not easy from our side either.
Okay, all right.
Why would someone want to replace their dialogue?
Well, a few reasons. Maybe an airplane was going overhead or motorcycle going by. But more often, the director decides he wants maybe more emotion out of the delivery of a particular line than was given on set. So maybe on set the actor was concentrating on how they looked or their mark or whatever. But in ADR, it gives them a chance to come back and really focus on just the audio delivery or the sound of their voice, the dialogue.
And what kind of clients do you do ADR for? I know you work with Hollywood.
Well, you know, the big studios out there typically have budget for that. Paramount, Sony. It's interesting the way we hook up with them. Basically, it's a virtual recording session with one booth here and another booth 2,000 miles away. And when I hit play here and roll the picture so the talent can see it in the booth, their picture rolls in LA and the director out there gets to see the performance against the picture out there. So
it's fascinating.
It's technology. I like to say geography is not what it used to be. Thank
you so much for spending your time with us today. This is really interesting. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more CinemaKC. Welcome back to CinemaKC. Julian Bickford is another Kansas City composer who stays very busy making films and commercials sound amazing. Welcome, Julian.
Glad to be here.
Well, you team up with Patrick Ray, who's a local director in Kansas City, a lot. And you've done it again with Now That You're Dead. Enjoy the sights and sounds of this amazing short film.
Stop that.
Stop what?
What you doing?
Oh, you mean this?
What time is it?
It's 4:30.
I have to leave pretty soon. Sun comes up at 6:30.
My wife's plane doesn't get here till 5:30, so.
I'm not worried about your wife. What does she do again?
She works for Decipher.
Sounds boring.
Yeah, it is. She's always taking trips, leaving me here to take care of the kids.
You don't have kids.
That's what I call the dogs.
Divorce her.
I can't.
Can't.
Not yet, anyway. There's too much money involved.
You don't need money anymore, my dear.
closet.
Oh, come on.
Do it.
Everything all right?
Yeah, you're home early.
Yeah. I took an earlier flight. Thought I'd surprise you.
Well, you did.
Good. What time did you go to bed?
About 12:30.
Really? It's pretty early. Who's in the closet?
What?
Do you think I'm stupid, Ronald?
Calm down, sweetie, okay?
I will. Just let me check one more thing first. Huh. How about that?
You're crazy.
Well, I have 2 bullets left. I can use one on you and one on myself. No, I'll just use both on you.
No, wait.
God, you're heavy. I gotta hand it to you, Ronald. You had me fooled for at least a month. How long do you think it'd take me? Out every night, nowhere to be seen during the day. I called your work last week. They said you just stopped showing up. Schmuck. Remember this spot, Ron? We used to stay up all night and watch the sun come up. Wow. S&M. Charming. What the hell? That's what I thought. Ronald! Ronald! Where are you, honey? There.
I'll miss watching the sun come up.
You'll get used to it. Did you finish Elaine?
Actually, I had a better idea. She'll turn just before sunrise. Figured she'd like to see it again.
We'll be right back with more of Now That You're Dead.
Welcome back to CinemaKC. We're here with composer Julian Bickford. Now let's take a look at the second half of Now That You're Dead.
Just for old time's sake.
Payback for putting 4 bullet holes in me.
Goodbye, dear. You know, it never really was about the money. It was about spending the rest of my life with someone as lifeless as you.
Hurry up! We have less than 30 minutes!
Ma'am, you okay?
Cutting it pretty close.
Drive faster.
This is as fast as this piece of shit goes, sweetie.
What the hell are you doing?
I don't know. We must get a flat or something.
Keep driving.
If I keep driving, it's gonna make things worse. There's a spare in the back.
What's taking so long?
I thought I saw something.
Open the door. What?
It's in Elaine's purse at the bottom of the river.
What about the house keys?
Well, she had them, but
Don't you know the combination?
Not working. It's been changed.
Who's lifeless now? Schmuck.
It's a perfect short film. It's spooky, it's, scary, and it's funny. I love it. So what was your inspiration for this short film? Did you watch some vampire movies?
No, in fact, I was directed to watch Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, and Bernard Herrmann's score, primarily during the scene when Vera Miles is driving in the rain to the Bates Motel in the beginning, and having an inner dialogue, and it's very similar to Jen Plass her character driving to dump the bodies in Now That You're Dead.
It's a great scene. When you work with a director like Patrick, does he give you a lot of direction about what he wants, or are you left to come up with that on your own?
Yeah, it's a little of both. Sometimes I'm given direction right off the bat. With Patrick, it's usually of his favorite score from a film in the 80s. But sometimes I'm left to my own devices and given creative license to come up with something, and then I'll take a pass, and the director will give me some ideas about cue changes or additional cues that he'd like to see or she'd like to see.
And you let the actors and the story inspire you.
Right, yeah, I pick my favorite scene and just, go from there.
Well, Julian, thank you so much for being on the show. Congrats on all your success on your short films and most recently feature film Nail Biter.
Thank you very much for having me.
And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.